This man 10, allcandy.com. I'm going to show you the finish. I'm going to show you what them apples red over So Bright Silver medium looks like right here. I'm going to show you the finish because one thing I noticed is as I was showing and as we were doing the filming, it was kind of dark around this deck lid. So I actually wanted to come in and show you the finishes. This has got the Wet Wet Plus. This is really only 3 coats. This is only 3 coats of them apples red. It is that deep. The coverage is that good. You are about to see that in the video. So pop your popcorn, get your bag, sit down. It's another one of them long ones. It's another one of these all candy instructional videos showing you what it does. This here is for the painters, but it's really for, it's for the painters to see that this covers, that all candy colors, them glowing bases, they cover. Let me show you the side. That's coverage. Now you can see how deep that color is. I don't even have any light on it except for what's coming off those lights, but you notice how deep that is. That's that fade. I've got So Bright fading into So Bright Dark. That's a fade that I'm doing in the jams. Jammed it all out. To walk around and show the other side. This is the way it looks when you got those halogens on it. It's the opposite side. You can see that fade. You can see how rich it gets down there toward the bottom. As I say, this is 3 coats. Them apples red, faded. Over the Wet Wet Plus. We got the Wet Wet Plus. I always like the Wet Wet Plus because of the 41% solid content over my candies. Now, I'm gonna bring this halogen to the side just so you can see it. Wow. Let me plug it back up. I lost the light. Hold on. All right, we back with the light on. Now you can see it. Them apples red, baby. Over So Bright Silver. And we got it fading into So Bright Silver Dark. That is a candy fade. Just showing you what it looked like. And that's got the Wet Wet Plus over the top. But as I say, this is the finish. Only reason why I did this is because it was kind of dark when we were filming a little bit earlier, when you can actually see the process of how I got it here. Main thing is, for the painters, it covers. I know you guys been using the OG, the favorite, the founder, but guess what? There's always room for a new sheriff in town, and this right here will cover. This is only 3 coats. 3 coats of them apples red over that. And look at the coverage. It is solid. It is wet. It is wet, wet, baby. Please believe when I tell you. Try it. If you don't, try it. I got a quart bundle package where try it. You don't believe me? Try it. You don't believe that? Try it. As I said, for the customers, buy it, bring it to your painter, call me up, and I'll talk to him. Bring in my product, call me up at 318-918-0331, and I'll talk to your painter. Buy it because you want it on your car. Because you want it to look like as if 10 and All Candy had done it. Remember, I can't paint them all, but I can supply all the painters. I can supply all the painters. The Wet Wet, all candy colors, and them glowing bases. 318-918-0331, thewetwet.com, online, buy it, try it. Now, pop your popcorn, enjoy the show. And allcandy.com, we in the dungeon, not spraying the wet, we about to spray the clear. You know, We're selling the Kandy now. We got all candy colors and glowing bases, so I'm going to show you what's happening. We're about to shoot them apples red over So Bright Silver. I got that So Bright Silver light, or just say So Bright Silver medium, So Bright Silver dark. I got 3 different shades of the So Bright. This right here, I've got it over the bright, faded into the dark, okay? I've got it over the bright, So Bright, faded into So Bright dark. 96 Impala for my people out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. For them boys out there in Tulsa. Making it happen. We're going to do an instructional video. Main thing what you want to focus on for the boys who are out there spraying that Kandy, you want to know how does it work, how, is it that good? 10, is it bullshit? Is it BS, I should say, my bad. But it's good. Better than good. It's coverage. You get the coverage like we talked about with Mr. Mark. Mr. Mark told you about the coverage. You're about to see coverage. You're about to see one coat, you're going to see coverage. To where them other ones you already know. What you're about to see in one coat takes 3 coats of the other. Smooth one coat. It's going to take 3 coats of the other to get what we're about to do in one. And you're about to see your man 10 spray some Kandy. We're about to jam it on out. We're about to do the door jams and the trunk area just so you can see what them apples red looks like over So Bright Silver. Focus on the coverage. Focus on the coverage is what you want to do. Always remind you, focus on the coverage is what you want to pay attention to. Kandy is tinted clear. So because it's tinted clear, we can't run it. If you run Kandy, you messed up. Kandy is not user friendly. It is not forgiving. It is not forgiving. It is college-wise, it's graduate school, baby. You in graduate school when you can learn how to spray that Kandy and when you can be confident enough to spray Kandy. Because I'm telling you, it's a beast. Even when you know what you're doing, it's still a beast. So you got to be mindful of what you got going. You got to be conscious of what you got going. You're spraying Kandy, tinted clear, never run it. So like my clear, I'm turning down the pressure a little bit. I'm going to shoot it around 35. As I say, it's clear, all right? But you want to focus. You do not want to run, but this right here gives you coverage. Gives you coverage. Gives you coverage. All Kandy colors, you can buy them online now. All Kandy covers and the glowing bases. Them apples red over So Bright Silver, faded down into So Bright Silver dark. It's your man 10, All Kandy, showing you what All Kandy is all about, baby. Big Boy 10. Big Boy 10. Because now you're actually seeing the big boy behind action. So it is what it is. Let's say this. I'm doing the door jams. You might be thinking that's more than one coat. That's really just one coat. But, you know, as I say, I'm stroking it. You got to hit different angles on that. So it's not like big surface area where you can really see one coat. You'll see it on this panel here. You'll see what coverage looks like. One coat on this. You'll be able to tell it on this because we got more surface area where you can really see what's going on. That's it. One coat. Them apples red. You already know. Remember the old saying, like your mama and some of your grandmothers actually say, baby, how you like them apples? You know, that old little slang term. How you like them apples? And guess what? Them apples red, baby. And they are red over that So Bright Silver. So let me get to it. One coverage. We're shooting it once. And we're going to knock this on out one time. You'll see what coverage it looks like with those So apples. Like I said, them apples red over So Bright Silver. It's your man 10. Big 10. Kandy.com. TheWetWet.com. You can buy this right now at TheWetWet.com. And if you're on the page right now, order all day long. Call me on up, 318-918-0331. If you got any questions, or call the 1-800 number. Got technicians. I got the text waiting for us, waiting to answer your questions also. 1-800-972, what is it? 1-800-972-1593. 1-800-972-1593. Hit extension number 2. That gets you all the text, like I said, to the available techs who are, who are waiting to answer your questions. Or you call me directly on my cell phone. Whichever one you prefer. If I can answer, by all means, I'll answer. this your man 10. This the first coat. Now, see how it's brighter? Them apples red, it's bright. See how it gets darker on the bottom half, how it have it faded? Brighter up top. That's that. Them apples red over So Bright Silver. And that's what So Bright Silver Dark would look like with with them apples red. So I use my colors to get different tones. If you want a bright red, go over that So Bright Silver. You want a deeper red, go over the So Bright Silver Dark. But then I also have a medium also too. It's right there in the center. You can barely see it. But 3 different tones on the So Bright Silver. But main thing is single coverage. It's looking wet. It's looking wet. It's a catalyzed candy. You got to put the hardener in the candy. This isn't a KBC. This isn't one of those base clear coats that dry up dull. This is straight candy. Straight candy. Doesn't even have a wet on it yet, but it looks like it. Still, 1 coat. We about to put the 2, but I just wanted you to see this. That this is 1 coat, and look at the coverage. You already know what you've been spraying. You know the other brand that everybody talk about, and this isn't blotchy. This isn't blotchy on the first pass. You need 3 passes to get it right. 1 pass. All candy colors, the glowing bases, 1 pass. And we on our way there, baby. Second coat. Second coat. You already saw what the 1 did. We're about to shoot the second coat. Second coat. We about to do the, like I say, do the trunk area, the deck list again. Second coat. You already see it covered. I'm not lying to you. All candy colors, glowing bases. This your man Big 10. Big 10 in action. Leaving them on the wet before the wet even get on. Candy. It's senior level. It's 4 years of college. It's graduate school. It's the paint of all paints. But you've got to get the rest of it mastered before you can get into that candy. Don't jump into that candy thinking you know what you're doing and you don't even learn how, you don't even know how to lay down the base, to lay down those metallics here. All of it is a step, all of it's a process, and you got to put time in to get to where you're at today. For all those brothers who've been spraying that candy, I salute you. You already know it's a beast. I'm just trying to help you on out with the burden on the back. One coverage, guess what? We already know we got to go around this thing 5 times before. Guess what? I can make you go around it only 3 times, 4 times, and feel confident about what you're doing. Feel confident about it. Allkandy.com. This your man 10. Leaving it on the wet before the wet, spraying that candy. Been spraying that candy. Shouts out to my people out there, Eric at Extreme Custom. Shouts out to my man, Matt. Mad Flavors out there in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Been shooting that candy for years. Been buying the paints from me. Been buying the wet for over 2 years. Ever since I've been selling, he been buying. Matt out there at Mad Flavors in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. My man Eric out there in Shelby, North Carolina. He's one of the main wet sales representatives. They out there, they've been buying. My man Maurice out there at Peterson Custom Collision out there in Tucson, Arizona. My man out there at Elite Whips out there in Tennessee. I'm telling you, the wet is just that. It's wet. The candy's covering right off the top. Let me quit talking. Let me show you what's happening. Second coverage, or I should say, second coat. Them apples red over so bright silver. On sale now. TheWetWet.com. coats. Now that's rich, baby. You can't even say. If you're not spraying what I'm spraying, you're not covering like that, baby. That look like 5 coats to the other. All Candy colors, thewetwet.com. Try it right now. You can even try a quart sample. What I want to say. For every brother out there who blew it big, they started underground, they started somewhere before they got to the top. Nobody born on top, baby. You got to work there, get there, strive there. You got to be ambitious. You got to be determined. You got to persevere. You got to work through those adversities and all obstacles. Lil Wayne was underground here in Louisiana before he made it big. Master P was underground before he made it big. Before they put him on the source, he had to be the #1 independent rap label before they gave him his dues, before they gave him his credit, before they decided to put him on the source. He had to be the #1. And he showed all these other boys how to be independent, how to be running it, how to do your own thing. No limit, baby. No limit. This is it. All Candy. AllCandy.com. The Wet, all Candy colors. I'm underground on the verge of being mainstream before every one of you guys is talking about the Wet, the Candy colors, the glowing bases. I appreciate it. Thank you. And that's only 2 coats. 2 coats. All right, this man 10. We're in the dungeon. This is the 3rd coat. We're going 3 coats. That's 3. Looking like 5 of anybody else's. We're doing 3 in the door jam. You see how deep and rich it is toward the bottom because of the variance in the base. We faded in the darker base at the bottom. That's what he wanted, a bright to dark. And this is 3 coats on the deck lid, so you can see how that's looking. See how rich that color is, how solid that color is, how wet that color is. It's deep, it's wet, it's rich. 3 coats. Them apples red over so bright silver. We're about to shoot the Wet Plus, and we'll be done jamming it on out, and then we'll be ready to go on and get the doors back on and get ready to shoot that Candy on the outside. Them apples red over so bright silver. No clear. This is the way it looks before the wet. Really before the wet plus. That's what I like shooting over the Kandy colors because of the 41% solid content. I like going with the thicker clear first. Wet plus first, then I'll re-sand it. Like I say, I'll color sand. Well, not color sand. We're going to turn around, cut that thing 600, and then I re-clear, double clear, coming back with the wet. And that's going to give you that glass finish on your Kandy job. 3 coats before the wet. Shouts out to my man Jimmy, over there, Jimmy Body Shop out there in Cairo, Illinois. I want to say what's up to him. Allkandy.com, thewetwet.com, all Kandy colors. Them apples red over so bright silver.